Hi everyone. Well, it is Black History Month and there is no doubt of the African influence in Caribbean cuisine. Today we are going to make mangu. Now mangu is traditionally not from Puerto Rico, but from the Dominican Republic. And as one of my followers on TikTok clearly pointed out to me, this is a dish that derives from Africa. And so what I'm gonna do today is super simple. This is an easy dish to make at home. I've got a pot of really hot water here because we're about to do a hack on how to peel plátano verde, which that's what you're gonna need for this recipe. Now, this is not to be mistaken from the plátanos maduro. They're the more yellow, darker ones that you use for the maduros or amarillos. There's different terms that people in the Caribbean use to describe the sweet plantains. We're going savory today with mangu. So here's how we're gonna start off. We're gonna take the ends of the plátano verde and we're gonna chop off those tips there. And then we're gonna go ahead along a spine right here and do a little sliver right there. And in this hot water, I'm gonna set my plantains, my plátanos verde, I should say. And we're gonna let this sit for about 10 minutes. It's gonna be in the spot right now, just marinating right there in the water. And what's gonna happen is the skin is gonna be so much easier to peel off. How many home chefs know that when you're peeling plátano verde, your hands get all sticky and stained, your nails, it's a hot mess. This is gonna make your life so much easier when you're making dishes like this. Look at, mira pa allá, no struggle. It just comes right off. And while I have you here, let's talk about that word mangu. It comes from the region of Congo in Africa, and the original word is actually mangusi. And so of course we put our little spin on it in the Caribbean and we now call it mangu. How many of these home chefs that do this, it comes out in all these little pedacitos and your fingers are and your nails are a hot mess. Your nail polish is chipped and you're like, Ave Maria, este plátano has the best of me. We're not gonna let these plátanos get the best of us, okay? Look at that, mira, it just slides right off. Mira pa allá. So easy. And I love those of you who have been tagging me in your stories on Instagram as you're trying this hack for yourself and seeing that it actually works. I'm only gonna give you guys what you can work with, okay? Now you can boil this enterito, complete the way it is, but I like to cut it into about 2-inch pieces. I'm gonna drain the water out of this pot, fill it with some new water, put my plátano pieces in it, and we're gonna put it to boil. So I went ahead and I replaced the water. I'm gonna add to it un puño de sal ahí, mira. And then we're gonna add our 3 clavitos, our 3 cloves of garlic, así enterito. We're not gonna crush it or anything because we're gonna end up mashing it later and it's gonna get incorporated to our plátanos. Woo! Okay, now we put our plátanos. So we're gonna let this boil and get tender and we're gonna test it with the fork a little bit later. But for now, déjalo tranquilo. We're gonna let it there be still. So I went ahead and did the fork test. These plátanos are ready to be mashed, but before I drain it, I'm gonna go ahead and reserve some water on the side because we're gonna need that for making sure that the texture is right when we mash the plátanos. Turn this off, heading over to the sink. I'm gonna take a few tablespoons of butter because everything is better with some mantequilla, a little bit of that reserve water, and that's just gonna help us get our mash going, right? Okay, so I'm looking at this here and it's looking a little bit dry, which is fine. This has happened before. That's why we reserved some of that water. I'm gonna hit it up with some more of that reserve water and continue mashing. Okay, mi gente, no te apures. You're not gonna get carpal tunnel doing this, I promise. But you just wanna make sure you get the right consistency. Of course, we're gonna go ahead and taste test it, making sure that our seasoning is right. Necesita un poquito más de sal. Un poquitito. But I'm definitely tasting the garlic in there. Yeah, much better. Esto no se mira nada, pero es bien rico. Es bien rico. So I know that this doesn't look like much, but I can tell you that this is something that you can have for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's so good. Qué rico. This will be a funny fast forward video. Like, man, this child is gonna get carpal tunnel. I know that Dominicans have this for breakfast. Oh. I got the wrong camera. It's okay. It's like I have to talk here. All right.